had started a group of his own at that point, and Lily Fern had a female group at the same time, and she worked in a restaurant while Earl worked for Lily's father. Periodically, Earl would lose a member of his group and need Lily to fill in. She acted as a substitute for a while until she finally gave him the ultimatum: either she was in the group or she wasn't. She couldn't take the idea that she was in or out of the group on the whim of some singer leaving. So Earl gave up his dedication to the male quartet, and Lily Fern became a full-fledged member of the Weatherfords. Earl launched his new, more stable group by moving to the Midwest, where he felt they would have more range and opportunity. The singers in the group at that time were Les Robertson, Armin Morales, Lily Fern, and Earl, and Robertson's wife Ray at the piano. Earl was the driving force behind the Weatherfords from the beginning until his death in 1992. The Weatherfords helped carry gospel music to new heights of popularity in the late 1940s and 50s. Mainly because of Lily Fern's presence, the Weatherfords developed a sound which would separate them from the typical quartets of that era. The Weatherfords have been labeled the University of Gospel Music. It's doubtful any gospel singing group has springboarded as many talents as the Weatherfords. The Cathedral Quartet and the Imperials could be considered offshoots of the Weatherfords. In fact, former Imperials lead singer Jake Hess has called the Imperials a loud version of the Weatherfords. Various top-name gospel music artists were brought to national prominence while they were members of the Weatherfords, such as Henry Slaughter, Glenn Payne, Armin Morales, Bobby Clark, Danny Coker, Jim Hamill, and George Jones. The Weatherfords' first national exposure came from their singing program on 50,000 watt station WOWO in Fort Wayne, Indiana. The Weatherfords gained further national and even international attention as part of the Cathedral of Tomorrow family of Akron, Ohio, headed by the acclaimed pastor Reverend Rex Humbard. While serving on the music staff at the Cathedral of Tomorrow, the Weatherfords gave concerts across the country during the week. However, they returned to sing for Sunday services, which were televised. Thousands viewed them as they appeared weekly on a program which originated from the cathedral. They sang there as the Weatherfords and with Vic Clay and Henry and Hazel Slaughter. Lily Fern sang with Rex's wife, Maud Amy Humbard, and his sister, Leona Humbard Jones, in the Cathedral of Tomorrow Ladies Trio. It was during this period that Earl and Lily adopted their children, Susan in 1959 and Steve in 61. The Weatherfords are the first major gospel singing group to record the classic song, He Touched Me, featuring Lily Fern. She is also known for her precision recordings of other songs such as Tell My Friends, The Eastern Gate, What a Precious Friend Is He, Footprints of Jesus, Sinner's Plea, God on the Mountain, Tenderly, and dozens more, all of which remain her trademarks. The Weatherfords in the Garden album, produced by country music legend Chet Atkins on the RCA Victor label in 1959, is considered the benchmark by which all gospel recordings are measured. It's still one of gospel music's most sought albums by collectors. The former members of the Weatherfords read like the who's who of gospel music. Here are just a few of the names: Tommy Anderson, Ken Carter, Bobby Clark, Vic Clay, Haskell Cooley, Tracy Dart, Jerry Evans, Bob Fowler, Jim Hamill, Dallas Holmes, Jerry Kirk, Danny Coker, Kelly Looper, Armin Morales, Glenn Payne, Bill Plowman, Henry Slaughter, Tommy Thompson, Roy Tremble, and George Jones, and many, many more. Against all odds, the Weatherfords have struggled to keep the music ministry alive and inspiring. There would not be enough paper or ink to write all the people who have backed and enjoyed the Weatherfords over the years with time, money, and a place to rest, meals, bookings, and an endless string of kindness. What appears on the stage is an extension of the things that go on behind the scenes. Perhaps the most striking characteristic of this group would be the optimism, trust in their mission, sincere love of God, and their down-to-earth sense of humor. They care about people, and they care about